Okay, let's try this again. So this is take 2 of the Netflix Midnight Makeover with the story Lucifer. Okay, yeah, I tried this last night. Didn't work out so well. No, not so well. But we're going to try it again because I am not a quitter. Okay, I'm not. So this phone better damn work. It better. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully internet connection stays put and we can get through the story. So in case you guys didn't check it out yesterday, I did try to come on here. It was a big flop. It was. But I wanted to do a little Netflix story time and give you guys just a backstory to my favorite Netflix show. And that is this one right here as of right now. Lucifer. Yes, I do enjoy this show quite a bit. I watch a lot of Netflix. Get the word out. Just spit it out. Netflix shows. I do. And I end up binging them because they have to be seasons. Everything's a freaking season nowadays. You know, you can't just have a regular movie. You have to have a season with like 17 seasons to it. So you're stuck having to watch the whole thing in a row because you have to, if you're like me. I just have to. Anyway, so there's 5 seasons to this show. And I thought, you know what? Let me just do some skincare, sit here in front of the camera, and tell you guys about my favorite show. Okay? All right. So it's going to give you a little backstory on it, give you the plot. I'm not going to give you every little detail because we'll be here for days and days and days. But I'm going to just give you the lowdown on it. Okay? So today I decided, yesterday I didn't really show you pictures. I did show you this one, but I think I'm going to show you a few pictures this time. This way you kind of get like a real feel for the show. You know what I'm saying? While I'm talking about it and while I'm doing something to my face. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to do skincare because I was doing that yesterday. So I'm going to just pick up from that. And if anybody did see this yesterday and this is a repeat, I'm sorry. What can I say? It's live. I can't do anything about it. Just go with the flow. Anything and everything can happen when you're live. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into it. And I'm going to, again, like yesterday, start with this little guy right here and cleanse the face. We may or may not do makeup. I don't know. But let's just try to get to the story first of all, okay? Let me know in the comments below, you guys, if you enjoy stuff like this where people are kind of reading off, you know, well, not reading off because it's coming from my head and I'm probably going to forget half of it. So just bear with me. But, you know, if you enjoy these kind of story time, you know, telling about movies and stuff like that while you do makeup and stuff, it's going to be different, you guys, because I can't pause and I can't read stuff because I'm live. Anywho. We're going to get some skincare on here. Where did it go? Here it is right here. Got it. Same one as yesterday. Same thing. Going to pop some on here. And like I said, get you a nice little latte. Get you a soda. Get you a snack, pizza. I don't care. Whatever you need to sit through the story. Okay? All right. Okay. So we got that on there. And I'm not going to talk to the products that I'm using. I'm just going to slap them on the face and then I'll put them in the description bar below whenever I get this lovely video posted up. Okay. And for anybody who does join us, it is 3 o'clock in the morning. It is because that's the time I come out, right? That's it. So if anyone does come in and you start leaving comments trying to chit chat, I'm not doing a chit chat back and forth because I'll be telling this story and I have to like remember what the heck I'm saying. So please don't think I'm ignoring you if I don't talk back to the comment section. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for understanding. So we're going to get this going and we're going to talk about this crazy AF sitcom. Okay. Or what are they called? Are they called sitcoms? What are they called? Seasons, whatever's. So here's this guy and it's pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool. And the way it begins, okay, is you have to imagine it. All right. Imagine that you're there and the screen is dark and it's all black. And the first thing that says in words is, in the beginning, the angel Lucifer was cast out of heaven into hell. That's where he belongs. And he was told to rule there for all eternity. And that's what it says in the beginning of every episode, okay? And it says, but he decided to take a vacation. And where do you want a vacation to? Los Angeles, of course. Of course, everybody wants to go to Los Angeles. Sin City, you know? So let's get this on the face. So as he's, you know, cruising down the street, he starts off in this badass car. It's a badass black 1962 Chevrolet Corvette. Top down, his hair is just blowing in the wind. He's this tall, dark-haired, light-skinned guy, and he's got an English accent. And like I said yesterday, why did they put the devil with an English accent? I don't know, but I guess they thought it sounded handsome. It does. So he's speeding, right? Of course, because he's the devil. He's going to do whatever he wants. And while he's speeding, here comes a cop, pulls him over immediately. You know, whoop, pulled him over. And Lucifer's just jamming out. He don't care. So the cop tells him, hey, why I pulled you over, right? And he's kind of like, well, officer, no, I don't know why. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to give you some money and you're going to let me go. And then the cop is like, no, I want your license and registration. And the first power that Lucifer has is he can tell your desires, okay? So he just gives you like this look. He just looks at you dead in the eyes. And when he says, what is it that you desire? Or, what is it that you've been wanting? Or just anything like that. He gets you to spill the beans, okay, basically, because he has that power. So he tells the cop, you want to take this bribe, And the cop's looking at him like, well, and Lucifer does the, you've done it before. You want it. And the cop says, well, I have done stuff before. So when nobody's around, I take out my siren and I put it on and I speed down the road for no reason. That's not really a big deal, but to him, I guess it was. So he ends up taking the bribe, of course, right? So Lucifer is happy about it. He takes off. He gets away, like he always does. And he pulls up to his own club. Because, yeah, the devil has a club. It's a really nice one, too. It's a nice nightclub. And hi, Jocelyn. Over here right now, it's 3 something in the morning. I had said that I wasn't going to answer anybody in the comments because I'm talking about the story, but I saw you pop in, so I was like, I better say hi to you. But yeah, from here on out, I probably won't answer anybody in the comments since I'm trying to tell the story, Jocelyn. Okay, I'm trying to tell the story. But anyhow, so Lucifer goes into his nightclub, and it's called Lux. Because it's Lux, you know what I'm saying? And he just waltzes in there, and first thing he does is gets himself a drink, of course, And who's going to give him his drink is his trusty old demon pal, who he brought from hell with him. Her name is Mazikeen, but they all call her Maze. So he tells her, give me a drink, Maze, it's been a long night. I almost got pulled over. Big deal. And she's pouring him the drink, and she reminds him, like, hey, guy, I didn't leave hell to come up here and work with you in a bar and be your bartender. Like that wasn't my goal in life, okay? All right, I'd rather go back to hell. But he doesn't care. He's like, you know what? I made you're my servant. So pour me a damn drink and shut up. You know what I mean? So she gives him the drink, and he's gonna go about the rest of his evening in his wonderful nightclub. And this is a pretty chill nightclub. It's like a gentleman's club. It's like it has like a nice stage. It's got that nice blue kind of aura to it where the lights are pretty dim and dark, and you can dance all night and get all drunk and everything like that. So it looks pretty cool. Anyway, so he's about to go walk off and watch some dancers and sing songs because he actually plays the piano and he sings too. The devil he just does everything. And anyway, I think I got it all off. You think I got it all off, you guys? I don't know. You never know these days. I leave stuff all over the face. So while his bartender is pouring his drink, she's getting him another drink, and the drink starts to like kind of stop pouring. It's like in midair kind of pouring. What does this mean? This means that his brother, Amenadiel, is coming into the nightclub. So everybody has like a power, right? So Lucifer, he's got a bunch of powers. We're not going to get to him right now. I'm just one at a time. Hold on, people, one at a time. But his brother has his own power. So when his brother Angel comes in, his power is time can slow down. So that's what he does. So when he comes in, Lucifer's like, oh man, you're going to bust up the party, aren't you? Because that's what he's there for, to bust up the party. And he tells Lucifer, Father says it's time for you to go back to hell where you belong. Like you've been on earth enough, for long enough. And Lucifer is like, I don't care, bro. You can't make me. That's it. Sticks and stones, buddy. Okay? So, yeah, he ignores him. And he's like, I'm not going back to hell. I'm having too much fun here on earth. So then Amenadiel just leaves, right? He's like, okay, man, I can't make you go right now, but I'll be back. I'll be back. And it's not going to be pretty, but I'll be back. So he leaves. And Lucifer decides that he's going to go ahead with the rest of his night. And he runs into an acquaintance of his. And this young lady used to work with him at his nightclub, okay? And it's just so funny because she is very famous now. Now she's not just a girl that worked at his nightclub. Now she's like this hot singer and she's a celebrity and everybody loves her. And her name's Delilah. And of course, that name Delilah, right? So he runs into her and she's like, hey, old buddy, how are you doing? And because of him, she is now somebody, right? So she sits there next to him and he's all happy to see her, right? And she's like, you know what, Lucifer? I just wanted to know, did I sell my soul to the devil when you did me all these favors? Because, now I'm like, rich and famous. And I'm just wondering, what did I do, you know, to deserve this, you know? And now she doesn't really think that he's the devil. She just feels like he helped her out, right? Because he's all about favors. Lucifer's all about favors. He's all about desires. And he's all about, you know, not obeying the law, right? And he's all about punishing people. That's what he's about. So he like everybody owes him a favor. So when he knows people owe him a favor, he lets that to someone else and like, hey, you know what? I can get you where you want to go because that guy owes me a favor. Like everybody in Los Angeles owes Lucifer a favor. It's like, hey, you know Lucifer? Yeah. You know Lucifer? Yeah. You owe him too? Yeah. I owe him too. Okay, yeah. We all owe Lucifer a favor. That's kind of how it is in Los Angeles now. So he got this girl with all the favors that he knows to get to like celebrity status. So she kind of like messed up a little bit. She was doing some stuff she shouldn't have been doing, right? So now she feels bad about herself. And she tells Lucifer, you know, like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, you know, I started getting into the bad ways because I started to become famous. You know, I don't know what to do. And he says, you know what I want you to do? I want you to clean yourself up. All right, girl? Clean yourself up and just go out there and enjoy life because I hooked you up. All right? I hooked you up and you're like celebrity status. Okay, so use it to some good. And it's kind of weird because since he's the devil, right? You would think that he's going to be like, you owe me your soul now, you know? But no, he doesn't. He's like pretty chill. He's kind of more like, you know what? I just want you to enjoy the life that I've given you. You know, I helped you out to just go off and have fun with it. Don't be acting a fool. And anyway, so she's like, you know what? You're right. And I appreciate that. And thank you so much for all the help. And he starts walking her outside because he's such a gentleman. Of course he is. You know, tall, black hair, looks good. He's a gentleman. And he's walking her out and he tells her, that's all I want from you. I just want you to, you know, relax, enjoy life, and just get yourself together. Okay, just pull it together. So she looks at him. She's like, okay, I'm going to pull it together. She gives him a hug. And guess what happens? Bap, 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 bap. They just drive by. Somebody just drives by, shoots them both. And they go down. Okay, of course, she's going to go down. But he's immortal. So he goes down for like a second. He gets back up. He's in awe. He's like, what the heck just happened? You know, like my club just got shot up, right? Because it was on the outside, but they just shot up all the side of it. And that vehicle that shot them ends up in an accident, like one block up, like smashes bam into a bus. That's wonderful, right? That's what you get for shooting people. Take that as a lesson. Don't shoot people. You're going to crash. Okay? All right. So anywho, Lucifer's looking at his friend. Now she's dead on the floor. And he can't bring people back to life. So he has certain powers, but he can't bring you back to life. Anyway, he's pretty upset because he knew this girl. And she was just about to, you know, get it together. And he walks over really upset. And he goes to over to the vehicle that just shot them up. And the guy is in there dying, right? And he's laying there. And Lucifer has this other power where if he grabs you and you haven't quite crossed over yet, you're like dying, but you're not dead. He can kind of wake you up out of it and ask you some questions and interrogate you. So he did. He grabs the guy and the guy wasn't quite dead yet. And he's like, why did you kill that girl? Like, what's your problem? And he goes, it's money, bro. It's always money, you know? Isn't it always money? Like, it seems to be. That's terrible. It's awful. So anyhow, that's what he tells him. And then he dies. Well, Lucifer's like, okay, that's it. Now he's pissed. The girl that was his friend, who was going to get her life back together, is now dead. And he can't do anything about it. So he doesn't know how to feel about that. Well, lo and behold, immediately, 2 detectives come up, okay? And it's Detective Chloe and Detective Dan. And it's funny. Okay, you ready for this, you guys? They're married. They are. Isn't that weird? So yeah, they're married and they work together. Don't you ever know, like, you shouldn't mix, you know, business with pleasure? It doesn't work out. It just doesn't. So they're married, but they're separated. And they have like this very estranged kind of relationship because you can tell she's like bitter with him and he's bitter with her, but yet they're still on the force together. So there they are investigating this whole crime, right? And while they're doing that, Dan tells Chloe, he's like, listen, this is a clear-cut case. Okay, so don't go making a big old deal out of it. Obviously, a drug dealer shot up this girl. She probably owed him money. There's drugs in her purse. That's what it is. Open and shut case. Don't make it a big issue, okay? And you don't need to, like, you know, drag it out like you did with the Palmetto Street case. Dun, dun, dun. Palmetto Street case. So yes, that's the first that we hear about this certain case, and it's going to come up later again. But just take note that it's the first time we're going to hear about it. And so Chloe's like, I'm not going to make it like the Palmetto case. I just want to know what happened here. So what does she do? She goes right into Lucifer's nightclub and she's like, were there any witnesses? And of course, Lucifer was a witness because he was there and he got shot too. And she walks in there, she starts interrogating him, but in a nice way. She just like, asking him questions and like, hey, so how is it that you and this girl were outside and yet, the whole place is sprayed up with bullets and you're okay? What happened here? How come you're not, dead on the floor with her? And Lucifer, he's very, open and honest with everybody. It's so funny because it's kind of, he tells everyone he's the devil. He says it. He's like, well, I'm immortal and I'm the devil, that's why I'm still alive. And nobody ever takes him seriously. They just don't. So you should take this to consideration. If someone tells you they're the devil and there's weird shit going on around them and you can't explain it, maybe take their word for it. Maybe. Just saying. Anyway, so yeah, so she's like, well, what's your name? And he's like, my name is Lucifer Morningstar. And then she's like, Lucifer Morningstar? Like, is that a joke? Are you serious? Is that a stage name? And he's like, no, it's a God-given name. Yeah, it is. It's kind of funny. There's like all these innuendos and puns throughout this entire 5 seasons. It's kind of funny if you watch it. But anyway, so he's very honest with everyone. And he tells her, I want this culprit caught and punished. And his big thing is punishing people because that's what he should be doing in hell if he was there. But he's being a stubborn baby and he don't want to go back. So yeah, Chloe says, well, we're going to try to catch them and see what happens. And he's like, that's not going to do. Like, you don't try to catch them. You need to catch who did this and make him pay. And so Chloe's like, okay, I'm going to make him pay. We'll see what we can do. And then he looks at her and he takes a second look and he's like, do I know you, detective? Like, how do I know you? And she's like, I'm sure you don't know me. I just met you 5 seconds ago when I was interrogating you. And he's kind of like stuck on this thing where he knows that he's seen her before. And right away his mind goes to, have we had sex before? Because he has sex with everybody. He's like a playboy. He just does. And it's another thing of his is that women seem to flock to him. Okay, like just like like he's glue, And it kind of like gets his interest that Chloe, this nice detective lady, who's really pretty, by the way. I don't know why they made her skin so pasty and so like there's no color in her face. The poor girl, I just want to slap some blush on her and give her a little bronzer, But anyway, I'm not judging. I'm not. But she's really pretty. And the funny thing is that she has no interest in him whatsoever. So that kind of like piques his interest because he's like, there's no women ever on this planet that don't find me attractive or, find me irresistible because they just do. And Chloe doesn't. So he knows something special about her, right? Well, sure enough, she says, no, I know I've never had sex with you, Lucifer, and I never will. Okay, so get over it. And no, you don't know me from anywhere. But he does. And we're going to find out that in a minute. So they take off. He stays there. He's playing his piano. He's all solemn, all sad and everything because his friend just died outside his club. And now Chloe takes off and she's going to go try to solve this case, right? Well, what does Lucifer do? He's pretty hard-headed. And he decides he's going to start looking for clues on his own because this is his new thing. He has to find who did this to the girl. And it's never bothered him before because he sees humans killing each other all the time. But this was his friend, right? So what he does is he ends up at the house of one of these guys who has a connection to this girl. Well, the funny thing is he gets there before Chloe does. And Chloe, I guess, didn't get the info as fast as he did. So Lucifer's already interrogating the guy with his very unorthodox way. He's like hanging him over the balcony, dangling him, almost dropping him, but not dropping him, just waiting for him to pee a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then he finally gets kind of some info out of this guy. Well, here comes Chloe, and she's just like, how in the hell did you get here before I did? Like, I'm the cop. Like, how did you get here? And it doesn't matter because he's the devil. He can do whatever he wants. And so he's like, I already got information. Let's go on to the next place, And then the guy that he was interrogating says, I know you. He tells Chloe the same thing. And she's like, no, you don't know me. I'm a police officer. Well, guess what? He pins it out. He's like, yes, you're that girl that's in the movie High School Hot Tub. And then she's like, what? Why'd you bring that up? So then Lucifer is like, oh my God, that's what it is. I saw you in that movie too. So little Miss Detective Chloe wasn't always a detective. She used to be like an actress in a movie that was kind of like a cheesy movie that, you get nude in it. Now, why is this in the storyline? I don't know. It's such a cliche. But her mom was an actress, so she tried to be an actress. La la la. That's how it goes. Anyway, so I'm telling you this part because it's in there, so you got to know. So anyway, let's see. What have I done to the face? I've already put some serum. I've already put some eye cream. I've already put some... What else did I put, you guys? Oh, toner. Oh, you know what I need? I need some moisturizer. That's what I need. Get some moisturizer. So anywho, they start solving the case together. And he kind of picks at Chloe a little bit for her being, you know, in nude scenes in this movie or whatever. And she's not happy about it. She's like, drop it. I don't want to hear about it. And he finally drops it. But while they're at the end of this one episode, they finally catch who the bad guy was. Well, what does this bad guy end up doing? He ends up shooting Chloe, okay? So she gets shot like right in the shoulder. She goes flying backwards. And this is the first time that we see Lucifer has like a very, well, let's say it's not the first time because he did care when his friend got shot too, but he's more like he really cares that Chloe got shot. So he like falls to her side and he's just staring at her like, no, girl, no, you're not going to die on me like the other one did, okay? Just no. And then he gets up, and while he's getting up, Chloe's still like, she's shot, right? But she's not like passed out yet, but she's like seeing blurry. And she sees Lucifer over her, and she sees him getting shot several times because that gunman has like lost his mind, right? And he's just bam, 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 trying to shoot whoever he can. So he shoots Lucifer multiple times, and she's seeing this. But does Lucifer die? No, because he's immortal. He told her that. So he gets up, he puts a hurting on the bad guy, and finally it kind of ends up where Chloe's in the hospital, you know, suffering from her gunshot in the shoulder. Oh my God, poor girl. And she's laying there and Lucifer's by her side. Isn't that so sweet? It's like he just met her and he's already by her side. So he's sitting there with her and she looks at him and she's like, how are you here? Like, I saw you getting shot. What is it with you getting shot and nothing happening to you, you know? And he looks at her and he says, you're having a very hard time understanding immortal. Okay, I told you I'm immortal and I'm the devil. So I'm okay. Don't worry about it. You just get your rest. And then she's just like, you're so funny. You're so funny. I don't know. If somebody told me they were immortal and I see them getting shot and they're telling me that, you know, they're the devil and they're immortal, I'm not going to like laugh and say, you're so funny. Oh, go on. I just wouldn't. I think I'd freak out and probably run the other direction. But she doesn't. She just doesn't believe him. She thinks he's nuts. So anywho, that's where that ends up. And she ends up healing and getting okay. Well, would you not know that Lucifer starts showing up at all of her crime scenes? Like anything that goes down, there he is. He's pulling up in his badass car, just pulling up, getting out, letting the hair fix. And he ends up like helping her solve tons of crimes. And the next one that they're trying to solve was a girl that had got kidnapped, right? Well, here's the fun part. Her hubby, Dan, who, what do we want to do now, you guys? Do we want to, maybe we should do something with the hair. What do we think? Do something with the hair. Because, you know, I could be talking and talking and not doing anything while I'm talking. So, yeah, so Dan starts, you know how they're like estranged or whatever. Well, he starts kind of getting a little jealous because he sees that Lucifer's like at her place a lot. And that he seems to, you know, kind of be like the smooth talker, but it's because he's the devil. So he knows how to talk smooth. And Dan is like telling Chloe, you know, you need to chill with this guy. Like, we don't even know who he is. And you're just taking his word for it. And, you know, you're letting him help you on all these cases and you shouldn't be doing that. And she's like, oh, it's fine, Dan. Just let it go. You know, nobody wants to hear you. And so Lucifer starts referring to Dan very affectionately as Detective Douche. I think that's kind of funny. It's a little funny. It's probably not to him, but it's funny to me. Like, who says that anymore? Who says douche anymore? But Lucifer does. So it's kind of funny. Well, anyway, Chloe starts figuring out that, you know what? Lucifer, she looked him up and she's like, you know, sir, I looked up Lucifer Morningstar and it shows that you didn't exist, you know, before 5 years ago. Like, where were you before 5 years ago? And this is where he's kind of like getting pinned into a corner because she wants some answers, you know. And he's like, well, is that the way you treat someone that just saved your life? Do you interrogate them and you start questioning them and questioning their loyalty and where they come from? So he kind of like, he like did the flip the script, you know. So now she's like, oh man, you know, I'm sorry. Okay, you're right. So it's a little funny. And he just keeps telling people that he's immortal and just nobody listens. I just find it so odd. Well, The funny thing is, he ends up meeting this therapist, right? Because she's helping in on a case. And her name is Dr. Linda Martin. And y'all want to see a picture? Let me try to show you a picture. I probably should, because I said I'd show you some pictures, right? And then I forgot, and I started doing my hair. Let's see. We will show you a picture of Mr. Lucifer himself. Here is the handsome devil himself. Can you see that? Look at that. How do you like look at that face and you just, believe everything he says? How do you? I don't know. He looks like the devil to me. I wouldn't believe nothing he said. But here we got, that's Mr. Lucifer. And then we're going to show you Miss Chloe. She's so pretty, so pasty and pretty, but it's okay. She's still pretty. Here's Miss Chloe right here. Hi there, Chloe. She's just so naive. I don't know. I just love it. She's so cute. And then we're going to show you Dr. Linda, who gets involved. And these are all characters that are through like all the seasons. There's Miss Dr. Linda, okay? So the way she got involved was because one of the murder suspects, started saying that, that one girl that got shot, she was seeing Dr. Linda, so you should go ask her questions. So they do. And of course, Dr. Linda's like, she's all smitten with Lucifer, just like everybody else is. And she ends up, having good times with Lucifer. So he like starts seeing her for like therapy, and she's, in payment. It's good time payments. Okay. I don't know. I feel like if I was a doctor, I'd rather you pay me money, like hard-earned money, because, I'm worth it. That's how I would see it. But she didn't care. She'd rather get paid in good times. And anyway, she starts seeing Lucifer like, on the down low, but she's actually a very good doctor. So she actually helps them with some of their cases. And Lucifer goes up and tells her straight up, look, I'm the devil. I've been in here in Los Angeles for, like 5 years, and I'm having some issues. Like suddenly, I care more than I want to. He's not supposed to be caring about human people. And he is, right? And he's really caring about Chloe. So Detective Martin is like, not detective, therapist Martin. She's like, well, do you not like being in touch with your feelings, or what is it? And he doesn't, he's telling her, listen, I'm the devil, lady. I shouldn't be caring about human beings, period. And then trying to save their life and worrying about what they're doing and about their ex-husbands. Like, why do I care about this, So she's finding it kind of funny that that he's telling her this. She thinks it's all, how it's patient doctor privilege. And it's like the doctor doesn't really question you too much. They think that you're using metaphors. So she thinks this whole thing that he's saying that he's a devil, she thinks it's a metaphor. What kind of metaphor is that? Like, who's just going to sit there in your chair and be like, I'm the devil and I'm immortal and I shouldn't like humans, but I'm sitting here going to therapy. That's not normal. Why would you take that as an answer? I want to get to the root of that. But she doesn't. She doesn't care. She's just like, you know what? I'm here to help you. Okay, I'm here to help you with all your problems. And she's pretty cool. So she's throughout the whole season. And eventually, she stops sleeping with Lucifer. She's like, you know what? This is like a little unethical. Maybe. And she finally just stops. But before she stops, she helps him come to a lot of realizations, that he could be changing, from being just the devil to being more human-like, because being a human is something that he really can't obtain, right? You know what I'm saying? So she kind of gets in his mind, and she tells him also, like, maybe you're also a little jealous. That's why you act a certain way. And he's like, I don't get jealous. I don't get jealous. How dare you say that? But he does. He does get jealous. So you have to see it. But anyhow, so this is where suddenly the that Palmetto case, remember I told you about? That starts coming back around. And the detective that was part of that Palmetto case, he had got shot, okay? And Chloe had saw this cop get shot, and she was on the hunt for a dirty cop, and she was pretty sure it was him. And she saw this one guy, his name is Malcolm, and she saw him doing a drug deal with this drug lord. And Malcolm gets shot, and the drug dealer gets shot, and the drug dealer dies, but Malcolm ends up in like the intensive care. Well, all the police force is mad at her because she won't drop this case. They're like, look, Malcolm is a good guy. He's like one of our best officers, and he's sitting up in intensive care, and all you're doing is still worrying about this case. There was nobody else there. Nobody else shot them. It was the drug lord. And she's like, no, man, I saw something happen. So that's this whole Palmetto case that we mentioned in the beginning, that Dan wants her to drop it. Because he's like, the whole force hates you, girl. They all hate you. Come on, let it go. Move on. But she can't because she knows that what she saw. She was like creeping on the outside, you know. She was like looking through a window she shouldn't have been looking through. Just like, I see you. Don't look back at me, but I see you. Well, the detective saw her looking through that window, and then he sees her from the corner of his eye. So he's like, damn, Chloe, she's over here following me. And bam, he gets shot. So he goes down. He's in the hospital. So we're going to pick up from where he's at the hospital. He's like on his last legs, okay? Like he's about to flatline, right? And Chloe is just, she's trying her best to still figure out this case. And while she's doing that, Lucifer is still getting visited by his brother Amenadiel, the one that wants to take him back to hell, because like God said, that's where he belongs. Like, get off of earth, dude. Like, you've already been there enough. That's enough time. Take your vacation, go back home. And Lucifer's dealing with that while Chloe's dealing with trying to figure out this last case. So what happens is Lucifer always talks his way out of Amenadiel making him go back to hell, okay? Because he can't really make him. He just like threatens him, you know, tells him some stuff like, I'm going to beat you up, you know what I mean? Like what brothers do. And he really can never get Lucifer to actually go back into hell. So Lucifer has to do it on his own free will, and he just doesn't, right? So he's dealing with that, and Chloe's trying to solve this case over here. And while Chloe's trying to solve the case, some funniness happens. Malcolm, the detective that got shot, right? The one that's like, you know, about to pass out. He flatlines. That's it. Like he's a goner. And then suddenly he comes back to life. How does that happen? Don't we wish that would happen more in real life? You know what I mean? Like you flatline, but you come right back. Like that's what happened to him. He flatlined. His wife was sitting there crying. Oh my God, what happened? But she knows what happened. She knows he's a dirty cop, but nobody believes it. But you know it. But he comes back. So nobody knows how he came back or why he came back, but there he is. So guess who he's still mad at? Yes, you're right. He's still mad at Chloe. Of course he is, because she saw him doing that drug deal, right? Well, he knows who shot him. Here's the funny part. Malcolm knows who shot him. So he tells Chloe, he's like, hey, you know what? I want to talk to you real quick. And she's a little weary. She's like, this dude he's bad news. But she's like, okay, what do you want? And he's like, well, I know that you're still looking for the person that shot me. We both know someone else shot me. We know it wasn't the drug guy, right? You know it and I know it. And then she's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, Malcolm. Okay, like get off my ass about it. Just leave me alone because you're kind of creeping me out. He broke into her house to tell her this. That's a little creepy. I think it's a little creepy. Know your boundaries, people. Know your boundaries, okay? You don't break in someone's house to tell them, I know you know who shot me. No, you don't do that. You like wait outside on the porch like normal people, okay? Anyway, so yeah, so she's over here a little creeped out by him, and he ends up telling her, it's okay. I know you're going to find out because you're a good cop, Chloe. I know you're going to find out who did this to me. So while she's still trying to figure that out, Dan over here is trying to do what he can to like win her back, you know, because he starts to see that Lucifer is kind of really lingering more than usual, you know. Well, while we're going on that where he's lingering, he ends up in one of these cases telling Chloe, you know what, you're going to stay out. I'm going to go in this warehouse. You're going to stay out because I don't want you to get hurt. Okay, girl? And she's like, no, I'm going to go in anyway. He locks her out. So he runs in this warehouse with that kidnapping I was telling you about. And he finds in the warehouse the girl that was kidnapped wasn't really kidnapped. You know what she was? She was a liar. Yep. She was just trying to get her boyfriend back. And she had a gun pointing at the boyfriend because she was upset with him. Like, you know, that's just going too far. I mean, sometimes, you know, I'm a girl, okay? I get mad too. We all kind of get mad. We have like that little mean streak. Yeah, we do. But, you know, to be making people think that you're kidnapped and you're not kidnapped, you're going to hold your boyfriend at gunpoint. That's a little too far, girl. That's a little too far. So what happens? Lucifer gets mad. And like I told you, he's all about punishing people. And he ends up finding out this girl's lying. And this girl's been having the police and everybody looking for her. So he's pissed off. So what does he do? He's going to punish her. And how does he do that? He shows you his devil face. So when he shows you his devil face, like that's it. All bets are off. You're going to lose your effing mind. Okay. Because you're seeing the devil. You're seeing him like in your face. And it's like, oh my God, he exists. You know what I mean? So it kind of messes with you. So he knows that's the way he can punish, you know, humans. And while he's showing his devil face, why would there be a mirror in front of him? I have no idea. Why is there a mirror suddenly in a warehouse? But there was. So the poor girl sitting on the floor like crying, like, oh my God, don't hurt me. Like she started it. But, you know, she's like, don't hurt me. And then in that mirror, you see his like devil face, like the red and everything. I should show you a picture of it, right? No, I'm gonna let you look at it. You gotta find it for yourself. And Chloe pops up through the back. Remember he locked her out of the warehouse? She gets in there because that girl, she's like, you know, she's not gonna let nobody tell her no. That girl's got some balls. And she gets in there and she catches a glimpse of him like on that mirror, and like she sees the red and she's like, oh my God, what was that? You know, and she didn't see it much like really, really close up, but she saw like his face wasn't his face. His face was red and it was like the devil. So she's like, oh my God. She's like, what are you? What are you, Lucifer? And he turns around and he's like all chill. You know, he looks back. He's like handsome again. You know, he looks back at her and he's like, Detective, I've told you multiple times that I am the devil and I am immortal. Just go ahead and shoot me, woman. Shoot me so you can find out for yourself. So what does she do? She shoots him. Yeah, she does. Shoots him right in the leg. And it's funny. You want to hear something, you guys? This is funny. Nothing happens to him. No, I'm just kidding. He ends up bleeding. He ends up bleeding. He gets a hole in his leg. And he's like, oh my God, that hurt. And he's like in pain. So here's like the kicker. Why is he in pain? And why is he bleeding? He doesn't bleed. He never feels anything. He's immortal. So what happened all of a sudden that Chloe shoots him and now he's mortal? Like, what's going on? So now we're at like there's a bigger enigma going on, because now he's freaking out. He's like, oh shoot, I can actually die. You know, like what's going on? And he doesn't understand it. She just thinks like, what the hell did I do? I just shot this guy. Like, of course he's not immortal. Of course. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I shoot him? But she did. So she has to get over it. So she rushes to his side and she helps him, you know, she starts helping him with the leg or whatever. They call the ambulance, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is that Lucifer is still tripping out that he's bleeding. And she's like, he goes, I can't believe I'm bleeding. Like, this actually hurts. She's like, well, of course you're bleeding. You're a regular person. And he's like, no, I'm not. But now he kind of is. So what do you guys think? Why do you think he's bleeding all of a sudden? Like he's turning human or what? It's kind of funny. So he's a little pissed off about it, but he heals. As soon as he gets home, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm trying to get a bobby pin. It's eluding me over here. As soon as he gets home, he gets all bandaged up, right? And he just patches his leg up, and by the time you know, it's gone. Like the hole is gone. He's fine. And his wonderful little demon friend, the one that's pissed off about being his bartender, Maze, she's like, dude, this is some serious stuff. Like, you're not supposed to bleed. You're not supposed to feel pain. So maybe we should get out of here. Like, maybe we should go back to hell, like Amenadel said, because we don't belong here anymore. And she's just not having a good time anyway. She's like pissed off because she doesn't want to be a damn bartender. Like, who wants to be a bartender? You know, you were ruling hell. That's like much better. So Lucifer's like, no, I got to figure this out. I got to find out why in the hell I got shot and I had blood come out, you know, and I need to figure this out. This is like even more intense than he thought. So the rest of like the whole season is him trying to really get deep and down and figure out what is going on with him. And he keeps on trying to get it out of the doctor, like, you know, Dr. Martin, Miss Linda Martin. He keeps trying to, you know, explain his new weaknesses and everything to see if she can help him, because she's a therapist. And she can't help him because she doesn't believe that he's the devil. So he's over here trying to get, you know, answers to questions that nobody has. Well, here's the funnier part. What's her name? Chloe. She's like, you know what? I've had enough of him hitting on me. I've had enough of him playing these games, telling me he's the devil and he's immortal. He's obviously not immortal. I just shot him and he's bleeding, right? So she's going to go to his place and she's going to tell him, you know what? You need to just like stay away from my crime scenes because you're like a whack job. You know, there's something wrong with you. And what does he do? Funny part. What does he do while she goes to his place, you know? What do you think he does? Anybody? Okay, you guys don't know. I'm going to tell you. He's standing there nude. Just birthday suit. In all its glory. And she's like, she walks in and she's like, what the hell? You're naked. Put some clothes on. But you know what's funnier is that like she doesn't turn her face right away. No, she kind of like stares for a second and she's like, okay, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna turn the other way now. But while he's turning around, he's like, you know, he's so conceited. Like, you guys, he's a perfect devil because he's so conceited. He's turning around like, detective, take a good look at this. Tell me you don't want this, right? He's turning around and you see these huge scars on the back of his shoulder blades. Like, they're huge. Like, he's a big, tall dude and they're like this big. So Chloe's like, she couldn't take her eyes off of him because obviously he's freaking naked. You know, come on, man. She looks at him. She says, Lucifer, what is that? Like, what's going on in your back? And he's like, oh, those right there. Oh, that's nothing. That's where I cut my wings off. And she's like, what? You what? And he's like, yeah, it's where I cut my wings off. It's okay. Daddy made me mad, so I cut my wings off. So I got some scars. It's okay. No big deal. And she's like, dude, no, seriously. Like, are those burn marks or what is that? And she walks over to him. And this is the first time you see Lucifer super vulnerable, right? She tries to touch his back. Don't touch the devil. Don't. You're going to get burned. What's wrong with you, woman? So she's over there like, let me see what happened. Like, what is this on you? He told her he cut his wings off, but she don't believe him. So she goes touch it. He grabs her hand. And he's like, no, dear doctor, you will not do that. Or this detective, I'm sorry. She's the detective. And she looks at him. She's like, whoa, sorry. You know, I didn't know that your back was such a big deal. He's like, just don't, okay? Like, that's a sore subject for him because he cut his own wings off. It's a little sad. I think it's a little sad, but he did it to himself. So anyway, they take off and they go work this case or whatever. And it's funny because she didn't want to be working with him, but yet they're still working together. So it's like she can't get away from him. She just can't. So what happens? The wings that he cut off, he stored them somewhere. He did. He stored them somewhere. So he had like attachment to them. He just didn't want them on him because he was rebelling like a baby. You know, it's like, I'm mad at you, God. You're a bad father. I don't like that you sent me away. I'm going to cut my wings off. And he did. So they're in a storage container. Someone steals the storage container. What? Why would someone steal this? Who knows? But it's like there's a lot of blackmail going on throughout the whole season. It's like, you know, his brother's looking for him. His brother wants him to go to hell. He don't want to go to hell. This detective Malcolm is mad at Chloe because he got shot and she was watching. She knows more than she should, right? And then Maze, which is the demon, she's mad because she don't want to be on Earth and she don't like that he's getting so close to Chloe. She don't like that Lucifer kind of likes Chloe. She can tell, right, that he likes Chloe. So she's getting like, you know, all pissy about it. And so there's a lot of blackmail. There's a lot of shenanigans going on. And then Dan is getting upset because he don't want Lucifer hitting on his wife, but he doesn't really act like her husband. And they have a little girl together. And that's the only thing that kind of keeps them together is because they have a little girl. And then it's like a whole ball. You kind of got to watch the whole thing so you kind of see it all unravel. It's pretty cool the way it unravels. But the funny part was when Lucifer finds out that his wings are stolen, lo and behold, his brother Menadil comes back down to Earth and he's like, okay, dude, your wings are stolen now? Like, what the heck? Those are angelic things. Like, this does not belong in the human world. So he decides to team up with Lucifer to find these wings. So it's like instead of them fighting, like they've been fighting the whole time, now they're teaming up together. It's kind of cute. It's like a whole family kind of gathering, get together, let's work together, not against each other. It's kind of like that. So it's kind of neat. So I kind of like enjoyed that, you know, he was like, how do you say, like the brothers coming down instead of like picking on him and bullying him. He's like, okay, I'm gonna help you find your wings. So they do. They end up finding them. I'm not gonna tell you who took them. I'm not gonna tell you why, because I can't tell you the whole season. But they find the wings, and what does Lucifer do? He burns them. Of course, naturally. You're gonna go through all that trouble to find them just so you can burn them. I didn't understand it either. I didn't. But moving on. So now Chloe is dead set that she knows, you know, she thinks she knows what happened with this Malcolm getting shot, you know, bad cop, good cop kind of thing. But she really doesn't know. Okay, so she thinks she does, but she really doesn't. So Dan gets kidnapped. What the hell? How does he get kidnapped? No one even knew he was kidnapped. So it's like, how important are you, Dan? Like, you're over here kidnapped in a basement. You're tied up. And no one knew. Nobody. Makes you wonder, what was that character about? I don't know. But he gets kidnapped and then he gets out of it. So it's okay. He gets out of it. So we're just being dramatic for nothing. And while he's, you know, getting out of it, Chloe's still trying to figure out this Palmetto case because she's like dead set on it, right? Well, here comes another doozy. Are you ready for this one? Let's see. You know what, you guys? I've been talking and I didn't realize, should I do something with my eyes? I don't know. Maybe I should. Because I'm already done with the face. You see the face is nice and glistening already? Should I do something with the eyes? Because if I put makeup on them, I just washed everything. I just cleaned it all off. But maybe I will. Maybe so I can finish the story. Okay, we'll do that. So, anywho, the story's almost done. All right. And so what happens is Lucifer is still fighting with this thing that he's bleeding and getting hurt. And then sometimes he doesn't bleed. So he got shot again, but he didn't bleed that time. So like, what's going on? How come you can get shot sometimes and then not other times and you're fine? It's like he doesn't know what's going on. Dr. Linda doesn't know what's going on. She don't even believe he's a damn devil. And Chloe's like, she just thinks he's nuts already. So it's like hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So Lucifer gets himself in a whole what do you say? Boiling hot water. I can't even say anything. It's boiling hot water. That's what it is. Gets himself in boiling hot water when he walks into his nightclub and he finds out, guess who's dead on the floor? A priest. He's just dead on the floor. Right there. Lucifer didn't even know it. So this guy is just laying there with a hole in his head, and he's a priest, a father, a deacon, he's something like that. A man of the cloth, you know? And he's just laying there, and Lucifer didn't even see him. The cops walk in and they see him there on the floor, and they're like, "Oh my God, Lucifer, what did you do?" And he's like, "I didn't do that. Why would I do that? Like, this is my club. Why would I shoot a priest in my club? Like, I don't do things like that." So the funny thing is, Chloe wasn't even sure if she should believe him because she's looking at, the evidence. Like, it's right there on the floor in your club, bro. How do you get away from that? Like, you're sitting here having a drink and this dude is bleeding right there. You didn't see him? Well, he didn't. He didn't, you guys. So don't judge him. He didn't. But this is kind of like, this puts a new twist on that old joke. You know that joke where it's like a priest and the devil walk into a bar? Now we know the outcome. The devil gets framed for murder. Did you know that? Well, now you do. So, anywho, he's telling Chloe, I didn't do this, Chloe. I didn't do. Why would I do this? I do not do things like this. I'm a helper, not a hater. And she's like, you did it. I can see, like, you're sitting there drinking and he's just bleeding out on the floor. Like, oh, you did it. Well, he didn't. So now he has to prove his innocence, right? And guess who's making it hard for him to prove his innocence? Well, I can't tell you. But somebody who stole a gun and put his prints on it and made him, like, framed him for murder, that's who's making it hard. But if I told you that, then you'd know the whole entire season, and that's just cheating. Okay, so we're gonna not cheat. Anyway, so now Lucifer's brother is back to help him one more time. Yes, he's like, okay, you know what? This is the last time. I'm gonna help you one more time. That's it. Then you gotta go to hell for real. Like, I'm not playing. Father said you belong there. Get there. And while he's helping Lucifer try to clear his name, Chloe decides, you know what? I really don't think he would do this. I don't think he would do this. He's not this kind of man. He's just not. I've seen him. He has a good heart. He has a good heart. And Dan is pretty pissed off because Dan knows who kidnapped him. Dan was down in a dirty ass basement. And so he's his own kind of angry, right? So he's over there angry by himself. And then he's also angry because he sees Lucifer hitting on his wife even more, right? And then even more, his daughter likes Lucifer. So that's a real kick in the face. When your own kid likes Lucifer over you, you got problems, buddy. Just saying. So that's what's going on right now. Like, everybody in the whole season has their own kind of dilemmas going on, and it makes for a really good show. And then Lucifer decides that he's going to clear his name once and for all, and he kind of does. And what happens to his good old brother is that, you wouldn't believe this, but in the middle of helping Lucifer, after they've kind of made up and decided that they want to be friends now, he gets stabbed. He gets stabbed with not just a regular knife, because he's an angel. He can't just die, right? No, he can't just die. He's like, he can get shot and stabbed and everything else, and he won't die. But yes, from this kind of stab thing, well, stab thing is called a knife, you guys. It's called a knife. But it is an angelic knife. It's like a holy knife, right? And he gets stabbed with one of those. So guess what? You know what this means, right? I don't have to say it. That's what's happening to him. He's just losing it. And Lucifer has to take off because he can't help his brother. He can't bring him back. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have that power to bring you back from the dead. So he's really upset his brother just got stabbed. He's even more upset that he can't bring him back, right? And then he's even more upset because they were just becoming friends, man. So it's like, why did this happen? Well, he takes off and he's like, I'm going to find out who the hell is doing all this shenanigans, okay? And while he does that, Chloe, he doesn't even know, but Chloe is like right behind him. Like, she's there. She's going to save the day with him, okay? And she kind of does. They find out who stabbed Amenadiel, and they don't show Amenadiel for a long time. So, I already told you about that. And anyway, so they go and they catch the culprit. Well, what does this culprit do? He eludes them, okay? And guess what he ends up doing? He ends up kidnapping Chloe's daughter. Like, how twisted are you going to be? So Dan gets kidnapped by somebody. Now Chloe's daughter gets kidnapped. Now Lucifer's like all kinds of pissed off. His brother got stabbed for no reason. He's bleeding off and on. Sometimes he gets hurt. Sometimes he doesn't. His number one demon, Maze, is pissed off at him. So there's all kinds of stuff. He's not having sex with Dr. Linda anymore, which he kind of didn't care about that, you know, but he still sees her like as a professional, right? Because he needs professional help, like he does. Anyway, so there's all kinds of emotions running all around. And Chloe's like, oh my God, they got my daughter now. Now, like, all bets are off. Like, you got my daughter. I'm going to kill somebody. Like, I'm not a cop anymore. Now I'm out for blood. And she tells Lucifer, don't follow me. Just don't. I don't need that on my head. I need to save my daughter. I don't want your help. Well, do you think he listened? What do you think? Do you think he stayed away and didn't help? Come on, man. Of course he went to go help. Like, he's the damn devil. You can't tell the devil no. You try, but you can't. Like, he laughs at you. So what happened was, I like to say that, like, what happened was, he goes to help her anyway, but he stays kind of in the background. He doesn't let her see that he's there backing her up. So here goes Chloe to this dark warehouse. You know, it's always got to be a warehouse, always. And he, hold on, you guys, because it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. Hold on. Lucifer doesn't pop in until like the last minute. And Chloe is there to make its deal with this bad guy who took her daughter. All she wants is her daughter back. That's it. And Dan is not even a help right now. Dan has his own crisis going on, so he's not even helping. But Chloe's there by herself. She's got like this bag of money. And that bad guy, he wants the money because it's always about money. I told you guys from the very beginning what I say. It's always about money. It's always about money. Sad, sad way. So yeah, she's got the bag of money. She's like, just let poor baby girl go. Let's just let her go. And the bad guy's like, no, I don't know if I want to. You know, because if I let her go, then you're going to go and you're a cop and you're going to come back after me later. So, you know, I don't know if I could do that. I think I'm going to have to kill you. I think so. I'm not sure. He's like having a dilemma. He doesn't know if he wants to kill her or not. Well, what happens is right then and there, Chloe's about to get shot. She's about to get shot, you guys. I mean, this is a deep one. This is already the end, okay? And Lucifer knows that for some reason he's been bleeding more. He's been getting hurt more. He has like stab wounds and stuff like that. And he's, you know, like his brother's over there bleeding out, you know. So he knows I can probably die if I try to save this girl. But he, you know, he kind of has this connection to Chloe that he just can't get away from her. Number one, because she has no interest in him. Typical guy. Typical guy. You have no interest in them. And what do they want? They want you even more. So it's kind of what that is, you know. So he's like really infatuated with her that she don't want him. She's immune to his charms. So to him, she's like his unattainable object, you know. And he also wants to make sure that her and her daughter are safe. Because even though he says he hates kids, he actually cares that her daughter, you know, is going to be safe. So even though he can possibly die right now, he's still going to go to her aid. He is, because he's awesome. He's a gentleman. He's a gentleman devil. That's what he is. They picked a good one. And he tells the bad guy, he's like, hey, you're not going to kill her. You're just not, okay? Because I'm here and I'm not going to let you. It was very simple. It was a very simple thing. And the guy turns around with a gun and he's like, I have a gun, dude. Like, you're nobody. You don't got nothing. I got a gun. You're going to really try to tell me I can't kill this chick if I want to? Lucifer's like, yeah, because you know why? And before he starts, you know, to go into the whole spiel, bam, he gets shot. So what do you think happened? Do you think that, you know, Lucifer made it out of getting shot? Or do you think that, you know, he fell to the floor and died? What do you think? Should I tell you? Should I? Okay, he died. I'll just tell you. Yeah, he died because I told you guys. I mean, he's been like bleeding and not bleeding and getting shot, and sometimes it hurts, sometimes it doesn't. Well, this time it hurt. And like, got him right there, you know, and he went back and he died on the floor. So Chloe doesn't know he's dead yet. She's over there running and hiding. But she's still a badass because she comes out with her gun still, you know. So her daughter's running somewhere else. She's running somewhere else. Everybody's in this big-ass warehouse. Lucifer's over there bleeding out on the floor. His brother, we still don't know what the hell happened to him. He was over there stabbed and dying over there somewhere in another warehouse. So, yeah. And where does the bad guy go? The bad guy gets to just kind of walk around and just like, oh, Chloe, where are you? Just like a creeper. You know what I mean? You know those creepers? Just wish you could just beat him in the head with something, you know? So that's what he's doing. He's just being a creep. And Lucifer's dead on the floor. I'm not joking, you guys. He died, okay? Get over it. He goes straight to hell. Like, of course, that's where he belongs. He goes straight to hell. And as he's going straight to hell, you guys really have to see this show because the way they portray hell is kind of, it's unlike anything that I would have ever thought of myself. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have portrayed hell the way that they did. So you kind of got to see it. I can't really describe it, but he's in hell for a few seconds, and he's like walking around, and for one, he's mad because he's like, damn it, I freaking died and I didn't want to die. How did this happen to me? And he's a little mad about it. I would be too. I'd be mad too, because I was like, he's living it up on earth and now he's back in hell. But as the more he walks around, he's kind of like getting reacquainted with, that's his home, right? And he's like looking around. Then he's thinking like, I hope Chloe's okay. Like, I hope I saved her and her daughter, right? Well, what does he notice? He notices this big, huge, like gate door. It's like huge. And it had like chains on it, right? And the chains are broken. And this door is like in shambles. And it's huge. I can't even describe it to you. It's just huge. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. And it has these chains that are broken. And he's looking at it like in horror, like, oh my God, what the heck? And the funny thing is, he knows what this means. It means something big, something big. So he's just staring at these chains that are broken down. And he's kind of like in horror, like in shock, like, oh my God. And in like a second, he's back up on earth in his body that's still laying on the floor because he got shot, right? It's still there on the floor. Nobody picked it up. So he's still there on the floor, and he's like back in his body, and he's looking up, and he's like, oh shoot, I'm back on earth. Like, what happened? All he did was he noticed this door busted down in hell, and suddenly he's back on earth. So I wonder why, like, who put him back on earth? Because he don't have that power to do that. Once he got sent back to hell, that was it. He didn't have another ticket to get back to earth. So that means the big man must have been the one that put him back in his body. So it's a good thing he did, because Chloe's still being hunted down by this psychopath, right? So hold on, you guys. I'm looking for something, and like I'm talking, holding a mirror, doing my eyeshadow, trying to look for something, and it's too much going on at one time. My brain cells are starting to like crumble as we speak. Where is the doggone eyeliner? I know it was just here. I got it. It's right here. So yeah, so Lucifer is kind of like, he's still in like shock. Like, what am I doing back on earth? And oh my gosh, my hands are so full of cream that I can't open it. Okay. And he quickly snaps out of it because he needs to go and find out if Chloe's okay, because she's just, kind of like running around trying to escape this bad guy. And she does have her gun, but it's like she's not doing anything with it. Like, come on, girl. Like, you're supposed to be a badass. What happened? And so Lucifer's like, you know what? I'm going to take care of this fool once and for all. And he finds the bad guy that's hunting her down in the warehouse. And he looks at him, and the bad guy's like, no way, dude. Like, bro, I just shot you and I just saw your body over there. Like, how are you standing in front of me? And he starts to kind of freak out because he knows that Lucifer he should be dead. He shouldn't be walking around. So Lucifer just, stands there and tells him, I'm the devil, dude. I told you I'm immortal. And like, you didn't kill me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you didn't win. And then Chloe shoots the guy. Just bam, 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 shoots him. I told you she was pretty badass. So while she's shooting him, he goes down. Lucifer is just kind of like standing over his body, just like staring at him and watching him die, and just kind of like, kind of poking a little fun at him. Like, like you shouldn't have thought you were Billy Badass because look at you, you got shot by a girl. You got shot by a girl and now you're on the floor. So that's kind of like where that ended. So Lucifer ends up like super duper happy that he saved Chloe. He's glad that he made it back into his body somehow. He don't even know how he got there, but he made it back in there. And then he's glad that the little girl is okay, but he don't like kids, but he's glad that she's okay. We still don't know where the hell Dan went. Dan, come on, Dan, you're being a schmuck. You know what I'm saying? No wonder why she's divorcing you. But Dan's somewhere around. Poor guy didn't even know that his daughter was kidnapped. And Lucifer is just happy about the whole outcome, that everything seems to be okay. And he looks around and he just kind of tells Chloe, just like gives her a hug. And he's like, I'm glad you're okay, because I don't know what I would do if you would have got hurt. I don't know what I would do. And then he just kind of like leaves. It's just funny because they kind of like end it weird. They end that kind of segment kind of weird. So he leaves and he ends up telling himself, I know what I got to do now. Like, there's something even worse going on now. Because those doors, those gates, and all those chains that were on there, and they were all broken down, that means something escaped. What do you think escaped? I can't tell you. But something escaped, and guess where it's at? Guess. Well, I'll give you the information because you can't say anything to me right now because you're out there and I'm in here. But I'm going to tell you, it's on earth. Whatever escaped hell is on earth now. So now Lucifer knows that the reason he was put back into his body was so he can take care of this demon, monster, whatever it is that escaped is on earth. So God put him back in his body so he can take care of that. Hunt it down because now you're a hunter. Okay, hunt it down, send it back where it needs to go, back to hell, and then you're supposed to go back with it. You know what I'm saying? But does Lucifer go back with it? I don't know. I can't tell you that's the second season. I can't tell you the second season, you guys. We're only talking about the first season. Okay, one at a time. Don't be greedy. So that's where it ends, you guys. It ends with, him knowing that now he has this weight on his shoulders to find this monstrous thing that has escaped. And he has to enlist the help of his wonderful demon, Maze, who's still a little bitter. She's a little bitter. She's a bitter baby because she doesn't like that, Lucifer likes Chloe. Like, oh my God, you can't like Chloe because I was your number one girl. Like that's how it goes. So let me know if you guys enjoy that. I really get a kick out of this show. I really do. Just because it has so many puns in it. It's very witty. It's a very witty show. Like I can't give a better term to it, but witty. That's it. That's the best I can come up with. And I enjoy it. So I had to binge watch all 5 seasons. So now I'm waiting for season 6, or actually it's season 5B. So they did season 5 in 2 parts. Why? Why'd you do it in 2 parts for? Like, just be normal and have a 5 and a 6. So, like, season 5B hasn't come out yet. And it keeps getting pushed back. And then season 6 is supposed to come out. And who knows when that's going to come out. It's supposed to, like, keeps on hold, too, because the writers don't know when the hell it's going to be ready. But I kind of just want to know what the hell happens already. Because I want to. I have no patience. I have none. But let me know if you guys like these kind of little, Netflix stories. Because it's something I'd like to do. Like, maybe once or twice a month. I binge watch quite a bit of Netflix. I'm just saying. So on my days off, when I'm not doing something else, because I'm always doing something, right? You're always doing something. Cry me a river. But I try to sit down and I'll put a series on, and then I get stuck watching the whole series until like 4 in the next morning because I can't let it go. Like, I just can't. If I know that there's another episode, another episode, another episode, another season, I have to sit through it all, you guys. I have to. So there's quite a few that I do that with. And if there's something that you want me to binge watch for you, let me know, because I probably would. I'm very easygoing. But the next one I think I wanted to come out here with is that Cobra Kai, because I binge watched that real quick. There's only 2 seasons for it. So I kind of did that one real quick and watched it like in a matter of 2 days. I watched the whole thing. And I thought I would come out here and talk about that one. Maybe not this month. Maybe I'll just give you guys like a little breather from a Netflix, series thing. And I'll probably wait till next month and then do it again. But tell me in the comments down below what you think. If you think it's kind of cool, if you like me doing my face and talking about Netflix. I already know that there's the girls that do the ghost stories and the murder stories, and the other one, who is she? She's pretty cool. Jamie French. She does the makeup and movie stories, so she's talking about a movie. So I wanted to do my own where I'm not talking about a movie. I'm not talking about ghosts and murder. I'm talking about a Netflix series. Specifically, Netflix. Yes. So I hope that this was cool for y'all. I hope you like my little Shirley Temple funny little curls that I did here, because I just wanted to do some kind of little curls for you guys because it's 4 in the morning. And why not? Why not curl it up at 4 in the morning? But yeah, so I was just trying to finish up this eye look. And I don't know if there's anybody even out there right now this morning watching, but you can comment now if you feel like it, because now I can talk. Okay, I couldn't talk earlier. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was telling a story. I can't break the storyline and talk. It's not the same. You get out of character. You get out of your, animated faces. I can't do it. I can't do it all the time. And I think I'll probably want to keep calling it, the Midnight with Me and Netflix. Kind of like that little title. If you guys have a better title, let me know. I kind of like the title, like Midnight Makeup. Midnight Makeover. Kind of keep it that way. Midnight Makeover with Me and Netflix. But if you have a better idea, just let me know. I take ideas. I'm chill. Just trying to finish up this eye look, because I hate for it to be like naked, because we started it. You got to start it. You got to finish it. Can't just start something and just leave it like that, What time is it by you guys? Like over here, it's like 4 something in the morning. Because we're in Texas. That's where we're at right now. We're in Texas. I was going to put like some dark red under here for like the devil. You know, I was going to have like light blue and like dark red. But I don't think I want to do that to myself because it's going to be hard to wash off, you guys. Red takes a long time to get off. I wonder what kind of shows you guys like. I'm always interested. I love action, and I love the reason I love Lucifer so much is because it reminds me of back in the day. I used to watch all of these like investigator like shows. I'm sure many of you are probably like in your 20s or late teens or whatever. So you're probably not familiar, but there used to be like these shows like Stacy Keach and Moonlighting, Maddie Hayes and Bruce Willis, well, Sybil Shepherd, but she played as Maddie Hayes. They were like pretty witty, kind of, investigator series, cop and robber kind of thing. And I used to get a kick out of those. So this Lucifer really kind of reminds me of that. And it's got such a good storyline, you guys. I mean, it's really a good storyline, if I do say so myself. And I do. I say so myself. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. It'd be so much better if I didn't have to do this live because I could just, film it normal and then fast forward through all the rest of this because this can get kind of like, kind of boring, right? But I can't. I can't do it right now. We're going to use a little red. Not a lot, just a little bit. I wish I could have some music on right now, but I can't have none of that either. See, I knew I shouldn't have started the eye look because I was almost done with the story. But I wanted to do something for you guys. Now look what I did. I just started for no reason. Now I'm stuck finishing it. There's a lot I didn't tell you all about the whole season. I mean, there's like 13 episodes to it, and I can't remember everything. And then tomorrow, you guys, I'm probably going to pop out here real quick. And I might not do anything. I might just do the giveaway winner. Because we did have that giveaway, remember? And there's only like 4 people that entered. So the rest of you lost out. And we'll do that live tomorrow. And see who won that one. It'll probably be late. But it probably won't be this late. It'll probably be like maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I'll pop out here and do that little live giveaway. It was for the face roller and the that highlighter that I got 2 of them from Ipsy. Stupid Ipsy. I swear they can really get my goat sometimes. We're almost done with this eye look, you guys. Just gonna pop on this eyeliner. Get a little eyeliner. This one's like almost empty. I don't know why I keep using it. Why do I keep using stuff that's almost empty? I do it to myself. I do. It's that Huda Beauty one. It's a really good eyeliner, but it doesn't last very long. It kind of like emptied out really quick. It's such a tiny, tiny little thing. It's a baby. It's so tiny. There's like nobody in there. It's like you look at it, it's like, hello, where'd you all go? It's all gone. So I'm almost just using whatever's left on the little rim. I think I'm going to come out here with a little Sephora haul. Like the smallest Sephora haul. I don't even know if I should call it a haul, you guys. It's probably like a Sephora glimpse, It's not really a haul. But I think I want to do one of those. If anybody said anything, I haven't seen anybody say anything so far. And I've been looking, you guys. I'm looking and I'm reading and there's nothing. I'm just glad that my phone didn't cut off like it did yesterday, because that pissed me off. It really did. It just cut off in the middle of a damn video. I was like 8 minutes in and it just cut off. See how it's almost, there's nothing there, you guys. Goodness, there's nothing left. Maybe one day I'll be prepared. Maybe. Look at that. There's nothing left. The anger. It's consuming me. But we're live, so I'm not going to swear. I'm not. We're going to have to just leave it like that. Look what it did. Look what it did, you stupid. Oh, look what it did. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to wash it off. It's okay. Come on, man. Come on. Get me through the end of this video. In my head, I'm like, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. You know, a little engine that could. That's what I'm doing right now. I know there's enough in there to finish this. I know there is. Maybe there isn't. There's like nothing coming off anymore. There's nothing coming off anymore. You guys ever seen anybody sit and cry on a live? Because it might happen. It might happen today. It's not doing nothing. That's all right, you guys. That's all right. We're going to call it a quit with that one. Call it a quit. It's these doggone filming at 4 in the morning, girl. Can't even talk. Nobody wants to work. Not even this site doesn't want to work either. There we go. Something came off. Make sure you guys leave me comments, okay? Because I need to know how you guys feel about these kind of stories, okay? I need to know. Maybe the next one I'll just do just skincare and I won't bother doing my eyes or my face. Or maybe I'll do vice versa, you know? Maybe I'll just do the face and not do skincare. I kind of want to show you all my night routine, you know? And I will link all the products down below. I really do wish this stinking liquid liner would have went on better. It's like ruining the end look. That's right. We're not going to cry over spilled milk, okay? We're not. We're crying over empty eyeliner. That's what it is. Get it straight. And if you guys want, let me know what y'all's favorite shows are. I love to know what y'all are into. I know one of my subscribers, she's not too into the Lucifer series. And you don't have to be, you know? It's just me coming out here talking. Trying to give y'all something new to look at, you know? I really want to do Cobra Kai next. It's all about the Karate Kid. If y'all are from like the 80s, you remember Karate Kid. Ralph Macchio? Yeah. Boy, does he look different. He don't look the same. Too much lip mask on. This is what happens when you got too much lip mask on. You can't get the lip liner on there. I swear, you guys, I'm like drawing on here pretty hard, and it's not even showing up right now. Way too much lip mask. But I need that hydration at night, you know? That's about as good as gonna get. We cannot get this to show up. It's just not working, Copton. It's all right. We're going to bed. It's all right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Gonna throw a little bit of lipstick on. I just went for the whole thing. Might as well. I hope whoever you are, wherever you're at, y'all are having a good morning or a good night. Probably should be sleeping like normal people. I'm not normal. You know this. Last but not least, we're going to throw on a little bit of mascara just to give it more stuff to wash off. You know, let's just go ahead. Just knock it out. Gonna use this huge ass milk makeup that really drives me nuts. This guy right here drives me nuts. Why do I keep giving him a chance? I don't know. I don't know. But I guess I just keep hoping that it's gonna work, you know? It's just such a doggone huge, this thing's huge. I hate when they're like the size of my eyeball, you know? I mean, look at that. Look at that. Can't see through the tree. Almost done, you guys. Almost done. About to call it quits. I'm about to quit this mascara too. I like to give things a good run, you know, like try it out a few times before you just throw it out the window, you know, give it a few. Give it a few quick goes at it. It's like it wants to work and then it just doesn't. But it wants to. It's trying. It's because these brushes are just so damn big. They can't grab the hairs properly. Well, this is the finished look, you guys. This mascara. It is on my caca list. Just not my friend. I want to do this like dramatic, you know, liner situation, but I couldn't because it crapped out on me. Yesterday the phone crapped out on me. Today the liner crapped out on me. It is what it is, you guys. That is my life live. Okay? All right, you guys. So this is the end look over here. Hope y'all enjoyed today's little video. Like I said, please leave me any comments down below that you'd like to see, maybe something that you're interested in, maybe series that you want me to talk about, and then I'll like research it and watch it, and then I'll come out here and do a little story time with it. So like I said, have a great night, have a great day, and always, always, always be kind no matter where you are, what you're doing. It's free to be kind. I mean, I'd like to push that out as much as possible. It doesn't cost anything to be nice to people, okay? It just doesn't. And even though, like, let's say your boss, he gives you a day off and then takes it away, and you had all these plans that you had to do that day, and then suddenly you can't do it because you have to go into work, don't be upset. Still be kind, okay? Just take it all in with a grain of salt, and don't beat up the chairs because they did nothing to you. It's just furniture, okay? All right. Share the kindness, share the love, and I'll see y'all next time. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.